Fidelity is arguably the most powerful brokerage on the planet. With $0 commissions, fractional shares, and their legendary zero expense ratio funds, it's a powerhouse. But here's the cold truth. A Ferrari is only as fast as the person driving it. I see investors making 5 specific technical mistakes on Fidelity every single day. Mistakes that don't just complicate your life, but actually cost you thousands of dollars in lost gains and unnecessary taxes. If you think your money is working for you just because it's sitting in a Fidelity account, you might be in for a rude awakening. In this video, we're breaking down the 5 mistakes you must avoid when investing on Fidelity, and most importantly, how you can fix every single one of them in under 60 seconds. Mistake number 1 is the idle cash trap. The most common mistake for new investors is thinking that transferring money is the same thing as investing your money. You link your bank, transfer $5,000, and then you see a balance. And then you think, I'm done. But the reality is that you haven't actually bought anything yet. Your money is just sitting in what Fidelity calls your core position, and for most people, this is SPAXX, the Fidelity Government Money Market Fund. Now, don't get me wrong, SPAXX is great. It currently pays around 3.3% interest, but this is not the same as investing in the stock market. Over 30 years, the difference between a 5% money market and a 10% S&P 500 return is the difference between retiring with $400,000 or $1.7 million. Now, how do you fix this? You have to actually invest your money. All you have to do is click buy inside the Fidelity app and then place an order for an index fund or stock that you want to buy. It's literally that simple. Don't let your wealth sit in the waiting room. Mistake number 2 is not automating your investing. Many people think that manually timing the market or dip every week is the best way to invest. They wait for a red day, log in, and then buy. The problem here is that life happens. You get busy at work, you're traveling, or you get analysis paralysis because the market looks scary. This leads to inconsistent contributions, which is the number 1 killer of compound interest. Now, lucky for you, Fidelity allows you to set up recurring investments for index funds, ETFs, and stocks. But if you manually buy, you might miss just 2 weeks of a market rally, and that small gap compounded over 20 years can reduce your final portfolio value by 5 to 10%. So how do you fix this? Well, you set up a recurring activity inside your Fidelity account. You'll be able to tell Fidelity exactly how much to invest into what fund on a set schedule. It removes the emotion, ensures you never miss a contribution, and utilizes dollar cost averaging so you're buying more when the prices are low. Mistake number 3 is forgetting to turn on DRIP. When you own index funds or stocks, they pay dividends. Most beginners assume that money just automatically goes back into buying more shares. On Fidelity, that isn't always the case by default. If you don't have DRIP or your dividend reinvestment plan turned on, those payments sit as cash in your SPAXX core position, and this creates cash drag. If you have a $100,000 portfolio and you don't reinvest a 2% dividend, that's $2,000 a year not compounding. Over 20 years, that small mistake can cost you over $50,000 in lost growth. Now, how do you fix this? All you have to do is go into your Fidelity account and make sure every one of your holdings is set to reinvest dividends. Make sure you do this today, as it literally takes 15 seconds. Mistake number 4 is the index fund overlap illusion. I see this in almost every portfolio review. An investor says, I'm diversified. I own the S&P 500, the total market, and the large cap growth fund. The reality here is that you aren't diversified. You're just redundant. The S&P 500 is already the top 80% of the total market fund in terms of market cap weight, and the growth fund is just a filtered version of the S&P 500. The problem here is that when you own all 3, you are triple dipping into stocks like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia, and if big tech takes a hit, your entire diversified portfolio crashes because you're over concentrated in the same stocks. Now, how do you fix this? All you have to do is pick one core index fund. If you want the core market, go with something like FXAIX, but if you want the S&P 500, just go with FXAIX. Don't build a junk drawer of funds that all do the same thing. And mistake number 5 is using market orders at the opening bell of each stock market day. The stock market is most volatile in the first 30 minutes of the day, 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. EST. If you place a market order right when the bell rings, you are telling Fidelity, I don't care what the price is, just buy it now. If a stock is swinging wildly, you might end up paying 1 to 2% more than you intended just because of a temporary price hike. So how do you fix this? Use a limit order. A limit order basically tells Fidelity, I only want to buy this stock if the price is a certain amount or lower. This protects your principal and ensures you're never the victim of a flash spike. It takes 5 extra seconds to set up, but it saves you money on every single trade. Now, when you're building your masterpiece dream portfolio, it requires you to be in the driver's seat. To recap on how you can avoid these 5 mistakes, number 1, make sure you invest your idle cash. Number 2, make sure you automate your investing. Number 3, make sure drip is on. Number 4, watch for overlap. And number 5, make sure you use limit orders. If you avoid these 5 traps, you are already ahead of 90% of all other investors. You're building a portfolio that is efficient, lean, and designed for maximum long-term growth. That is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much much for watching. If you're new here, my name is Paul and I break down investing and finance so it's super easy to understand. So you make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me out so much at no cost to you. If you want to learn more about Fidelity, I have a bunch of previous videos covering how to invest on Fidelity and some great funds, so make sure you check those out as well. Always remember that your life is a masterpiece, so let's unlock your full financial potential together. And with that, I will catch you in the next video. Take care.